The fall weather has finally arrived in the Northwest with the crisp autumn air on the bluff as we welcome you in for a WCC matchup between the LMU Lions and the Portland Pilots. Welcome inside the Child Center for our Saturday afternoon matchup. I'm Brian Slyke. I've got former pilot Carly Jumanen, and we'll have your call today. The Lions, they're on a 7-match win streak, including a win over Pepperdine last Saturday. Meanwhile, Portland, they finished strong against the Waves on Thursday and look to continue that effort today against LMU, Carly.
Yes, I am hoping that Portland will carry over some of that momentum from the third set against Pepperdine in today's match. They've shown that they can compete with powerhouse teams this year, and LMU is another strong opponent. But the key is they have to start strong right out of the gate.
Well, we've got some of the best blockers in the conference today, and she swings it pretty well. It's Phoebe Awolea.
Yes, she is a huge presence at the net. She's leading her team in blocks, and their setter, Bareford, she will try to set the middle as much as possible, no matter where she is on the court. So Phoebe is definitely a huge key to LMU's offense.
Well, the Pilots' back row has kept them in matches, and nobody does it better in purple than Grace Zilbert.
Yes, I think she's definitely has been the backbone of the Pilots' defense, and her tenacity in the back row will keep her team in those long rallies. And she's also very effective from the service line with 19 aces this year so far. So hopefully she can rack up a few more points for the Pilots at the end line today.
Well, the Pilots face a lot of tough opponents in the league, and LMU is no different. What are your keys today for victory, Carly?
Well, first is blocking. Like I said, in the match against Pepperdine, they finally got their block going, but it was in the third set. So this is going to make a huge difference for the Pilots if they can get that established right away. And then second, they need to be smart with their hitting. LMU is another very strong blocking team, so Portland will need to mix it up with their shots to work around that wall of a block. And then last is passing. They need to have strong ball control to allow Helm to be strategic in her set location to get her offense going.
Well, LMU looks to extend its winning streak to 8, and the Pilots aim to tame the Lions today. It's West Coast Conference Volleyball coming at you next on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Starters being announced right now. Let's get you the starters for LMU today. On the floor for the Lions, it's Isabella Bareford, Audrey Klemp, Kari Geisberger, Phoebe Awolea, Sam Hastings, Rose Booth, and then Jacqueline Moore will get the start for the Lions. Again, they're on a 7-match win streak right now after starting out 0-2 in conference. And now the starters for the Portland Pilots as they're getting announced right now. Jade Harris, the senior, will get the start. Maui Robbins, the freshman from Hawaii, also starting. Noelani Helm, Grace Zilbert, our player to watch. Charity Bradley, Yellen Larson, and then Una Rajkovic, the freshman middle blocker, gets another start under her belt. Coaching the Lions, it's Aaron Mansfield. He's in his 5th season, 72 and 51, an accomplished career both collegiately and professionally. Played indoor, and then he played beach in the AVP circuit as well. And then you also see Coach Megan Burton right there. She's in her 3rd season leading the Pilots, bringing back 6 letter winners from last season. Has a 9-11 record so far this year, 16-42 overall, but this is their best record that they've had under her leadership, and they finally have some continuity. Just mentioned the 6 letter winners coming back. You've got some key freshmen that are on this team that are making a name for themselves, and they have something growing on the Bluff right here. Absolutely. It's really fun to see strong recruits coming in and building the program, and I just really wish a lot of success for Megan on the Bluff. The referees today, Robin Filamawa is the up ref, Jason Olson the down ref, Kelly Damianou will be one of the line judges, and Hector Escobar will be the other line judge today. Well, this is sort of the start of the flip of conference play. Portland opened up with LMU down in Southern California to start conference play. They got swept by the Lions. And it was sort of a similar story. Slow first set, but really came on strong near the end in sets 2 and 3, just unable to pull it out. First serve by Harris, back set to Geisberger off the soft block. Robbins tips over the block. And running through that one was Bareford. Looked like she was going to run to the set, assuming maybe her back row was going to take that, and then realized, wait a second, that's my position. Yeah, the libero wasn't coming over to cover behind her. Pilots will take that one. Yeah, well, we're always told not to reach behind you. Mm-hmm. So Harris back to serve again. Going after Booth. Bareford sets to the outside, goes down line, and it's out of bounds. Klemp on the swing. So Portland opening up to a 2-0 lead. Abalea, Geisberger, and Klemp swinging for LMU. Out to Klemp again, into the block and down. Larson and Rajkovic. That's what I'm talking about, Brian. If they can start establishing it, they can set up a strong block. Make LMU have to think about their hitting choices. That's going to make a huge difference. Slow start for LMU here in set 1. Short serve. Bareford back set to Geisberger, tips over the block. Rajkovic runs through it. Robbins into the block, straight down. That was the block I was referring to in the Keys. Probably one of the best we've seen in the Child Center. And so Robbins is definitely gonna have to think about where she places that ball. Geisberger and Abalea in on that block. 6'2" and 6'5", putting up a wall at the net. Good pass from Harris on the serve. Quick feed to the middle, Rajkovic gets the kill. If Helm can start forcing the middle a little bit, I think it's going to open up a lot of things for their front row. 39, make it 40 kills now on the season for Rajkovic as she heads to the bench. Zilbert serves. Feeding the middle, Abalea. That's the type of offense you're going to see LMU run. Even if Bareford is off the net, they love to feed that middle. Off the net, on her one knee, you know, behind her back. Abalea. Sophomore, transfer from Georgia. All SEC freshman team member last season. Robbins tips into the open area. Nice. And Booth, she crept in too far. So the 3-point lead continues for Portland. Larson to the bench. And Mumola will come out to serve, the sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Geisberger, tight pass at the net. Moore just floating. Right. Able to put it right in the middle of the court where there were no pilots.
I noticed that in warm-up. Like, she just has hang time for days.
And that's what makes their middle so effective. I mean, we were talking about it, that the setter hasn't even set the ball and the middle is already jumping.
Floating in the air, if you will.
Owabole, who just checked in, serves for the Lions. Back set to Bradley. Block was late. Bradley will get the kill on a quick. Robbins serving. Pass taken by Hastings. Geisberger, free ball over. Bradley almost on the overpass, tipped by Helm. Booth, tip over the block. Mumowo fisted it, but it goes underneath the net. And Booth will pick up that kill. Now, Booth making a homecoming. She's from Portland, Oregon, went to Jesuit High School, the junior. 35 aces on the season.
Very impressive.
So keep an eye on her in that back row. And that's another ace.
I can see where that 35 came from. Now 36.
Now 36.
It's definitely got some pace on that topspin jump serve.
Well, there's no rotation on the ball when she tosses it up. You know, normally you're seeing ball go over the top. There she sends it into the net. So Pilots get a point back. Well, while she's making her homecoming, the team actually had a home-cooked meal despite being on the road. They went over to Rose's house yesterday to have a team dinner.
That's so cool.
It's nice when you can have that type of atmosphere even on the road. Bradley serve, that one's in. She did such a great job in that third set against the Waves on Thursday. Really rallied the Pilots from the service line. They were down by, I believe, 4, and they actually ended up taking the lead late in that third set. Four-year player at Washington State sends that one long, so much like Booth, they'll trade off an ace and a service error. Awolea back in. Catalan will check in for Mumowo. So Helm, Rajkovic, and Harris will be swinging for Portland. Two hitters in the front row for LMU. Hastings serves at Harris. Harris goes cross court. Smart of Hastings, she was in the court but let it go by her, had that shoulder high ball. Hastings, a transfer from USC. Sophomore from Frisco, Texas. He's averaging 3.38 digs per set this season. Back set to Helm. High roll. Bowie runs through it. Geisberger puts it down.
That ball was coming fast and grace.
It's tough. She's 6'5". You know, Rajkovic is the middle. She's 6'3", and then you have Helm on the other side of her. She's at 5'10". I mean, it's hard to stop Geisberger, especially when you get a high set.
Absolutely.
Pushed out to Harris. She has to come in. Tip, found an opening. Hastings got a fist on it, and she can't roll over to get an extra touch, and that kill will go to Harris. That's her first of the day. So Portland still holding on to that 1-point lead. 9-8 here in set one. Helm serving. Geisberger and Awolea swinging for LMU. Hastings puts a high ball for Geisberger. Long swing out of bounds. High for Geisberger, tight at the net. And the dig by Robbins in the back row keeps it alive. Roll covered by Harris. Back set to Larson, blocks there, touched, and it goes back over in play. Helm has to get a touch on it. Harris blistered one into the block, and Awolea and Geisberger come up with another block. Credit to Bareford. She was the one that got her fist on it as the third hit for LMU to keep the ball in play.
It was a ricochet off of somebody's blocker.
Yeah.
Or something.
The old chicken wing.
Yeah.
Breakovic on the slide. She gets blocked. Klemp and Awuleya. So already 3 blocks for
Just
LMU.
seeing how much of their arms are above that tape.
Klemp 6'3", Awuleya 6'2".
And then how high she jumps. That.
Outside to Harris. Trying to go high off the hands, and the referees are calling it. So that'll be a kill for Harris. Geisberger wants the challenge. And Coach Mansfield grabbed the challenge card, and we'll have our first challenge of the week. We didn't have one on Thursday.
I know. It seems like we'd have like 3 a match. And now I'm like, wait, we didn't have one last match.
Yeah, it was quiet on Thursday. So now Jason Olson, the down referee, goes to the replay monitor. He'll see if there was a touch on the block.
To read more about this foundation and how you can support, make a donation.
Now, it's hard for us to really see that. We have the up ref almost directly in front of us, so we don't have a great view, even though it is in front.
And like you said before, we can see our camera angles, and they are not the same as what the down official is looking at. So it's really hard for us to make predictions. We can only predict what we can see.
Yeah. You can sort of see it underneath his arm. He's got a decent look. Here's our replay. Oh, they almost could have had a triple block up with how Klemp was coming over. There's too much motion on the screen right there. It's hard to tell.
I mean, it looks like it would be in a spot that could have gotten a touch.
Yeah, it looks like she could have split that block and maybe got a touch.
I mean, their hands are high enough.
They are high enough.
For sure.
Yeah, well, this one's just gonna, it's up to the referee at this point. I didn't see a touch, but they called a touch. Do they have anything that's definitive to say it was not a touch? They don't, and that point will stay with Portland. And that's how it's going to go. Now, in conference play, we didn't pop it up on the screen, but you get 2 challenges. If you get it right, you get to keep it. If you don't, you lose it. And Coach Mansfield, I don't think he appreciated that call. I think he saw a touch, or didn't see a touch, excuse me. But it was hard on that replay. Double. And that was sort of easy to tell.
And the ball is spinning. She doesn't usually spin out of college level setter hands.
Couldn't hear what Coach Mansfield was saying, but it sounded like he was talking to the up referee. Barefoot chasing it down, and an ace for the Pilots.
He's saying, my setters are so good.
We don't double.
We don't double. We just don't do that.
So Harris, who leads the team in aces this season, picks up 1 and then gives that point right back.
I mean, I like their thinking. They're trying to serve tough to keep LMU out of their offense. We just got to try to bring down a few of those service errors.
That ends a 3-0 run for Portland. LMU, nobody has more than 1 kill so far on their side of the net as Mary Schroll serves, overpass on the serve. Outside, Booth goes cross court and gets the kill. Talking with Coach Mansfield earlier this week, you know, I looked down the lineup in front of a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, redshirt sophomore. There is a junior and a senior mixed in there as well, and also a freshman, but just such a young team for LMU, and a double called on Portland. And one of the reasons why they're having so much success, even though they're so young, is they're just healthy this year. The past couple of seasons, they've had top recruiting classes, but injuries have really derailed their seasons, and this is the first time that they've all been healthy and playing together.
They have good things to come.
Yes,
such a young
do.
Team.
And we got a touch from Mr. Escobar, the line referee on LMU's side. And Coach Mansfield is frustrated right now. You can sort of see it on his face. He's not sure where that touch came from.
But does he dare do another challenge
After that last one? That's tough. I mean, you're out of challenges at that point for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
Unless you go to a 5th set.
True.
Awalea got the tip. It's a dig by Zilbert. And Hastings cut in front of Schroll. And that will be a point for the Pilots. And they lead heading into our media break. It's 15-13 in set number 1. Pilots leading the Lions inside the Child Center on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Portland, 2-point lead halfway through set 1. Grace Zilbert serves out of the media break. Outside to Rose Booth, got the soft block. Zilbert able to get a hand on it. And the kill for Robbins. She split the block.
Nice. She's definitely remembers that really strong block in the first couple of rounds. She's definitely being smarter about where she's hitting, taking a little off of it.
It's Klemp, Booth, and Awalea swinging for the Lions. They feed the middle. I mean, you had 2 blockers there, but again, it's so quick on that offense to the middle, it's hard to stop.
Yes.
Moore will come back in. Awalea will go to the bench. Amanda Burns will come out, sophomore from Manhattan Beach, California, mainly a serving specialist for the Lions this season.
Nice pass by Harris there.
Larson goes line and out of bounds.
I like to point out when Harris has a nice strong pass because a lot of teams pick on her in serve receive. So she gets her work cut out for her when she's passing in back row.
LMU back within 1. Great pass from Zilbert. The feed to Bradley, the quick. That one's down for a kill.
That's what I'm talking about. If Portland can just keep that ball under control, good passes to Helm, their offense can get going.
Yeah, look at this. Just you only had 1 block, and it was Moore that was reaching as the middle blocker. That's never a recipe for success.
Right. I always say just go up straight because then the defense can set up behind it.
Exactly.
You reach and it's, you don't know what's going to happen after that.
Mumoa serving. So silent inside the Child Center on that serve. Klemp goes line, the dig by Zilbert. Helm kept it alive, hit it over the net, and no, 4 hits. What?
Am I miscounting? There's a dig.
There was a dig and then just the hit from Helm.
Right? I have no idea.
That's a confusing call right there.
For those of you at home, we are as confused as you are.
Yeah. Bully got her hand underneath it. Booth cuts it cross and out of bounds.
Oh, maybe a back row attack instead of 4?
No, she's in the front row.
Oh, she is, okay.
They might have called in the net. by Maui Robbins, and Rose Booth gets the kill.
Yes, because she's number 4.
She's number 4. That would make
We've
sense.
solved the confusion because none of the coaches had any problems with it. Just you and I.
Hey, well, some pretty good detectives over here. We figured it out.
True. Yes.
So Booth will go back to serve. Again, she's a tough serve from that back line. 36 aces on the season, and you'll see why right here. Woo. Dime pass from Zilbert. Back set to Bradley. She tips over the block. Tandem set up right there. That one was fed to Geisberger. Harris through the block. Gets the kill in the back row.
Nice. If you look at the front row, Helm's got to see that and know that Bradford's in the front row. She's got the shortest block up, so feeding Harris is a very smart move right now.
Barefoot is 5'9" up at the net, and you're right, with that height difference, you want to feed that outside, and Jacqueline Moore punishing that ball. And another kill out of the middle. Moore now has 2 kills. I mean, the middles right now have 4 kills. The team overall has 8.
Yeah.
Hastings serving. Tight pass up the net. Harris! Had no problem getting around the block right there. She goes back left corner. And so here are the Pilots leading by 2 late in set 1. Here's another look at that replay.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like she split that block.
Yeah. But Harris can handle that block in this match.
She's got 4 kills. Robbins has 5, and the ace by Helm. Wide eyes right there.
Right? Took a nice little breath of relief after that rolled in favor of Portland there.
Off the tape, it's 21-18. The Pilots have a lead late here in set number 1. We'll be right back inside the Child Center on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Brian Slight, Carly Dumonin with your call. Out of the timeout from LMU, it's 21-18. And another ace for Helm. So back-to-back aces for Helm, and that will give her 20 now on the season.
She's wanting to compete with Jade Harris with her 25.
27, actually.
27.
She's got 2 aces today, I believe.
today.
Foley takes the serve. Geisberger will watch it over her shoulder, and the tip into the campfire area. I loved what she did right there. Because she watched it over her shoulder, she didn't put too much on the swing, just put a tip over the block. And it's effective. So a 3-point lead, 22-19 for Portland as Barefoot goes back to serve. Set to Larson out of the middle and just past the end line. Rose Booth, she's smiling as she just got out of the way of that one.
Yeah. She's like, I can serve and I can do the splits as well.
And Coach Burton calling a timeout. I actually like this idea. You give up the 1 point. Let's not have back-to-back, negative plays. So timeout called by Portland, 22-20. We'll be right back with the rest of set number 1 on the WCC Network. Isabella Bareford back to serve for LMU out of the timeout. 2-point lead for the Pilots in set one. Brian Slack and Carly Dumanin with your call. Float serve taken by Robbins and an ace out of the timeout. That's the energy LMU needs right now as they're trailing in set one. Rajkovic, Larson, and Harris swing in this rotation for Portland. Cross court, going to Robbins again. Helm runs underneath it for Harris. Tip! Past the block and down for the kill. Like a cut tip almost right there.
Savvy hitting right there.
I mean, it was a tight set, yeah. Great play by Harris.
She just threaded it right along the net.
That could have been a foot past the net right there. That was tight. The Geisberger splitting the back row between Harris and Zilbert. So Kari will now check out, and Mary Schroll checks in. Schroll, redshirt sophomore from Tempe, Arizona. 7 aces on the season. She was all WCC second team last year. The middle, Rajkovic had help with the block from Booth, brought it back down on LMU's side, and Klepp sends it into the net. And that pushes Portland to set point, 24-22. And this would be a huge confidence booster for Portland after being swept down at Loyola Marymount to start conference play. If they can take a set here, take a one-set lead, you must be feeling good about yourself. And they do! The ace from Zilbert caps it off. 25-22. Set one goes to the Pilots. Close one, back and forth between these two, but the Pilots come out ahead. And they look to capitalize and take set two when we return on the WCC Network. Zilbert, the ace, to close out set one. welcome back inside the Child Center, and the Pilots taking set one 25-22. Brian Slyke and Carly Dumanin with your call. And Carly, what did you see out of that first set from Portland that really worked for them?
Absolutely. I felt like they were listening to me when I was talking about the keys. I mean, they established a block, they were serving tough, and they started strong right from the gate. Like, I'm like, man, you read my playbook. I love it. It's exciting.
They had 4 aces and 2 blocks in that first set, and that serve is long, airmailed by Bearford. So Pilots, again, taking the early lead now. They led all the way through that first set. There were 3 ties, but they did not surrender that lead. So Zilbert goes back for the first serve for Portland. High for Klemp. Off the block and a touch and a kill.
Klemp goes high off the hands, point, LMU.
Geisberger will go back to serve. She's got 3 kills, leading the Lions so far. And another service error. That airflow off the Willamette really just screws things up here inside the Child Center.
Just takes that ball and goes.
Mumolo in to serve. Larson goes to the bench. I mean, both Harris and Robbins had 5 kills in that first set. Robbins is getting 2.3 kills per set. Harris at 3.7 as that serve is long by Mumolo.
But it died right at the end, you know, so that's not a bad miss.
Into the front row for the Lions.
It's like, you look at that WCC on the court right there. It's like just right at the edge of that seam.
Abulea serving now for LMU. Just 86 blocks coming into this game. High pass from Helm. Robbins tried to go off hands and long past the end line. So LMU's first lead of our match today. Bradley and Robbins, it looks like, are swinging in the front row. Roll shot from the back row by Harris. Klemp goes back right corner for the kill.
That's tough. That's kind of right where the block should be taking away that area of the court. So it's hard for Harris and Momolo to try to scissor around to get that ball.
LMU on a 3-0 scoring run currently. Klemp gets her second kill early on, and Awuea puts it in the net. Now, I wonder, I see Rajkovic with a sweatshirt around her waist. I wonder if they're going to switch up the middle position, maybe.
I mean, it is.
She might take it off. I mean, you never know as she gets into the rotation. Booth tools it off the block of Helm.
Well, I saw her. She was playing in the first match, and she had the sweatshirt on. I think it's just chilly in the Child Center.
All right, all right.
You see Larson over there. She's got her. She's trying to keep warm as well. So. But you never know with Portland's lineup.
Boley, the only senior in the lineup today. Harris gets the kill through the block. She leads all players on the court with 6 kills so far. 14 of the 20 matches this season, she's got double-digit kills. Only had 6 on Thursday against Pepperdine. Served by Bradley. Back set, it's a slide. Mumolo on the dig. And out of bounds, the kill for Harris. Ricocheting off the block and across court. We're all tied up at 5. Booth will have an opportunity. Popped up by Robbins. That's an overpass. They're going to have a joust. Rajkovic had the first touch, pushing it out to Harris. There's a touch and a kill.
Oof, LMU's coaches are not liking that
That could have been called a double right there by Helm. I can see why there could be some frustration because Barefoot has already been called for a double.
Exactly, for the same kind of rotation out of the hands, the ball's moving, and yeah, I can see his point.
Hastings, great pass as she went to the ground, and Rajkovic got beat by Moore. Catalan will come in, Mumolo will head to the bench. So Helm now swinging with Rajkovic and Harris in this rotation. Booth serving, already one ace today. And kissing it off the tape for another.
Great use of the equipment right there.
37 aces on the season now. And that one is long. So far, though, it seems to be pretty even with her. She'll get an ace, she'll send it into the net.
Or long. I mean, she's got so much momentum when she's hitting that ball that, you mishit it just a little bit, it could just soar out of bounds or mishit it and go right into the net.
Booth leads the conference and is 26th in the nation in aces this season. Geisberger gets blocked by Larson and Rajkovic. Back to Geisberger, the tip. Rajkovic punched it over. That's it up by Robbins. Oh, the point goes to the Pilots. How did Maui Robbins pop that ball up?
I love it.
There's just a different energy right now with this Pilots club.
Sometimes just that little bit of confidence in one set in another match can make a huge difference.
Ooh, there's some trouble near the net and underneath. Barefoot and Geisberger run into each other, but everybody seems to be okay, and you're happy to see that. They called under, so point goes to Portland. Moore and Geisberger will swing for LMU. They feed Moore, and it's blocked!
Nice.
That almost looked like a triple block by the Pilots. Harris, Rajkovic, and Larson were all in that area.
And the way that Moore hits that ball at that angle, you really have to make sure your arms are pressed over the net because she will make that ball go right down the front of you if you're not really penetrating over the net.
4-0 run for Portland here in set 2. Bully on the pass. They push it to Geisberger. And another block by Portland. A free ball will have to be sent over. Outside, Harris into the block, covered by Helm. That's an overpass. Tough break. They had the soft block, but nobody in the area to chase it down on the back line.
That's tough on an overpass that's almost like a set to LMU's Moore. I mean, she definitely took advantage of that.
Hastings serving. Rajkovic, Larson, and Harris will swing in this rotation. They feed the middle, it's Larson. Out of system as Barefoot had the first touch. Geisberger got a swing off the block of Rajkovic and down for the kill. So back to a 1-point game. Geisberger now has 4 kills. That matches Rose Booth and Jacqueline Moore. Mini timeout with a shoe tie. They feed Harris, who just passed it and roofed.
Oh my goodness.
Awolea and Geisberger putting it straight down. And you see why she leads this conference in blocks this season.
Absolutely.
She was 5th in the SEC last season in blocks per set. Rajkovic on the slide, she'll get the kill. And that's part of taking advantage of the fact that Barefoot was up at the net on this side.
Yeah. Not very often that you see your front row setter on the left side of the court. But when you've got 2 tall trees that are going to put up a block against Portland's outside hitter, I see the strategic plan there.
Geisberger, that was a quick set. And it looked like it went off the inside hand of the middle.
Bowley in the front row for the Lions.
So Bowley will head to the bench. Bareford back to serve. And Klemp now in the front row for the Lions. One thing I noticed about Coach Mansfield, he's constantly moving on that bench. He's at the end of the bench right now for the Lions. One-handed bump set by Helm. I thought that could have been 4. Rajkovic kept alive, and she gets the kill. Rajkovic has her 3rd kill. Zilbert serving now. Into the net. And you can't be giving away free points. That's what they did so well in that first set.
Right. I mean, when you're playing teams at the caliber of what the West Coast Conference has, all of those add up.
Wow. Did that ball just die right there from Schroll, right in front of Zilbert?
And almost a little bit of the seam, too, so it's a very nice shot.
Off the tape, great pass from Harris to stay with it. Larson got a touch off the block. Booth tips it over the block and down. Larson and Bradley are there.
That's what's nice to see is Portland doesn't always have the height, and it's so nice to see over 6-foot blockers up in the net there.
And you see Larson able just to hang enough right there and got a hand on it.
Yep. Said no thank you.
Awolea and Booth will swing in this rotation along with Klemp. Back set to Klemp, that's low. She has to tip it over. Back set to Bradley, she tips it. Hastings runs through it on the first touch. And straight laser out of bounds. And an attacking error by Klemp. That's her 4th error. She's hitting negative 250. Normally she hits 257. The All West Coast Conference selection honorable mention last year. Outside, back to Booth. She went line, past the end line, and out of bounds. And the Pilots will take another lead into the immediate break. It's 15-13 inside the Child Center. Set number 2. We'll be right back on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Portland holding on to a 2-point lead right now. 15-13 midway through set 2 after already taking set 1. As we get back going out of the media break, it's a 3-0 run currently for Portland. Feeding the middle, soft block by the Pilots keeps it going. Robbins tip out of system for LMU. Klemp tried to go line, and she will get the kill as it goes off the block of Robbins and Bradley.
I don't see that very often.
No, there was a lot of force on that swing because that went past the end line.
Usually, you know, outside of one of the sidelines, you get to tool off the block, but.
Burns serving. They'll feed Bradley, tip down the line. Burns had the first touch, close to an overpass. And that'll be an over. That ball did not break the plane of the net, and Charity Bradley had a touch on it when she went up to go block.
Got a little greedy there.
Yep, that'll happen.
I want it. I like the aggressive nature.
Same. Bradley!
You could hear her team communicating where to cut. Cut hard. Here it is.
Back into the lineup for replacing Burns.
Oh, there was a big hole in that block.
For sure.
Moore, Klemp, and Booth swinging in this rotation. Moore got it off the block. Zilbert got a fist on it, but sends it under the net.
I mean, Bradford was more towards the 10-foot line and set, I swear, their middle hitter was in front, way in front of her when she set that ball.
Yeah, Bareford.
Yes.
Has had a nice match so far.
She makes the impossible look possible.
I mean, that's this entire offense. When I was talking with Coach Mansfield just yesterday, he talked about how this offense is a bit outside the normal box of an offense. Fast speed, high risk, high reward offense on quicks, feeding the middle, and a lot of out of system attacking, feeding the middle. High set backwards to Bradley. Dig by Schroll. Booth tipped over the block, tipped back over. Bareford had the first touch. Booth swings and a touch up at the net, and that'll be a point for LMU.
That was almost like her serving. She's like, oh, I know how to do this.
Oh, yeah.
In the back row. She's like, this is my wheelhouse.
So LMU will take a 1-point lead after they were trailing 15-13 at the break. They're on a 4-1 run since the media break. Bareford had the first touch. Tight at the net.
Oof.
And Booth, honestly, she just, I can't even call that a tip. She just sort of pushed that down.
Yeah.
Right in front of the block of Harrison Bradley for the kill. And so a 2-point lead now for LMU. Catalan checks in Mumowo to the bench. Here's another look at it.
Oh, yeah.
See how it's sort of that
so
downward
delicate.
angle? Yeah.
She just slipped it right.
Right in between that block and the net. Outside to Harris, pushed her out. She had to do a roll shot. Booth gets blocked, covered. Catalan back to Helm, goes deep corner, saved.
Oh.
And no, it's not saved. It'll go underneath the net. First touch was by Boley, but too tight for Bareford.
Yeah, and you try to pull those out of the net, but they can be so tricky. The net is can be vicious at times. Sometimes it pops it up for you to get a nice dig off of it, and other times it just rolls right down to the line.
Push to the outside to Booth. Maui saw it the whole way.
Yeah, she almost got a little foot underneath it.
Geisberger checks back in. Schroll to the bench as Booth goes back to serve. And tough spot for Portland right here. You're trailing by 2, and this is the best server for LMU. But they'll take that error.
Absolutely. It's like live and die by the ace.
Yeah. Booth is leading LMU on their side of the net in kills. She has 7 as Larson comes back in for Catalan. Harris leads all attackers today with 8 kills so far. Helm deep serve, just barely past that end line.
She almost got him to go for it, though.
Almost. That's 2 different serves now from Portland that have, they were out, but they were close and borderline.
Yeah.
Back to the 2-point lead for LMU late in set 2. Feeding the middle, it's Larson, straight down on a block. Awolea.
That's tough, because that's a great servicey pass by Robbins right there.
And the solo block for the middle blocker for LMU. will force a timeout call by Portland. They trail by 3, 21-18 inside the Child Center. We'll be right back with the rest of set 2 on the WCC Network.
Set number 2.
Here's a look at Jade Harris. She leads all attackers today so far, 8 kills through the first 2 sets.
Looking for a next double-double.
Yep. High pass, cross court to Larson, and into the triple block of Geisberger, Alulea, and Bareford.
LMU.
Puts it high for Harris. Hastings takes it with her hands. Alulea went arm side swing. Zilbert saw it, but couldn't make a play.
Timeout. Portland, their second and final set.
Portland will call their second timeout of this set. It's 23-18, closing in on the end of set number 2 inside the Child Center on the WCC Network.
They're going to pick on that area.
Welcome back inside the Child Center. Brian Sly, Carly Dumanin with the call. Here's a look at Grace Zilbert in the back row, and timeout point goes to Coach Burton, as that ends a 4-0 run for LMU.
You can see where they're going though, Brian, because they see the Helm coming from back row, and so attacking Jade right there. That's smart placement on their serve.
Geisberger will get the kill.
Geisberger off the block and out of bounds. Point LMU.
And so it'll be set point 24-19 as Boley will go to the bench. Bareford back to serve. And it looks like Klemp is now in the front row. Robbins goes cross court and gets the kill.
Take that little miscommunication point.
Yep. Not enough air underneath that pass from Hastings for Bareford to get underneath it.
And everybody was like, who gets that one?
Who's got second touch? They feed the middle. She's had success. Back to her.
Back to her.
And that'll do it. 25-20. Set 2 goes to the Lions.
Set number 2, 25.
Well, each team has taken a set here early on. We'll head to set 3 in just a few minutes, but we take a break. We'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes for set number 3 on the WCC Network. Well, it's a beautiful day on the campus of the University of Portland as we welcome you back inside the Child Center just a few minutes before set number 3. Close contest between these two. Portland sort of with the upset in set 1, taking it 25-22, and then LMU came back and took set 2 25-20. But Carl, your thoughts on the first 2 sets so far between these two teams?
I mean, it's really neck and neck. I think both teams just had maybe a few more hitting errors than the other, or more kills. Like LMU got just a few more kills than Portland on this second set. And I felt like Portland might have lost a little momentum in their serve receive, which then didn't allow them to get into offense, and LMU's block just kind of took care of business. Yeah, let's take a look at the stats through these first 2 sets, and the block, a big one, 6.5 blocks for LMU. But nothing to scoff at. Portland has 4 as well. We talked about how they need to get in early and often in the blocking game. Right, and if they can establish any kind of block, then it makes LMU have to think about or put a little pressure on their hitters. They might have to, and they've had some hitting errors because of that, in my opinion. You know, when you get blocked or you have to try to hit around a block and you're just used to getting those kills right away, some hitters might try to press a little bit.
Well, Portland is, both teams are hitting at a high efficient rate right now. Portland is usually hitting 190. They're hitting 224 right now. Meanwhile, LMU usually hits 248. They're at 321. So effective offenses on both sides so far. Some smart play has really played into each other's game. As we count down the final few seconds before set number 3 starts.
I feel like both teams are going to be playing the way they played. This could be a really interesting match.
It'll be Booth, Moore, Barefoot, Clem, Geisberger, and Awolea, along with Hastings on the court for LMU. Harris, Bradley, Helm, Zilbert, Rajkovic, Robbins, and Larson will be on the court. And there we go. Now they check the lineups.
Jay Harris, the serve for the Pirates begins set number 3. We're all tied up at 1 set apiece.
So Harris will start off set number 3 for us. Clem, Geisberger, and Awolea. Oh, that one went off of Booth, and that's an ace. She was trying to follow that one to the end line, and it went off of her.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, an ace for Harris right there. Overpass. Back to Robbins. And she gets the kill.
Off a very substantial block there. So.
Yeah, and it looked like she tried to go line and got off the outside arm of Geisberger. So again, another early lead right now for Portland in set 3. Oh, another ace. It died right in front of Booth.
Kind of reminds me of like David and Goliath when I look at Maui Robbins versus Geisberger. You know, you got 6'5" versus 5'11".
6 inches right there.
Yeah.
Awolea. She just floats in the air.
It's smooth, dynamic. It's a sight to see.
Yeah. You sort of have to see it to believe it.
Right.
Geisberger serving.
Definitely fun to watch.
High set for Larson. Goes cross court. Barefoot takes it out of system for LMU. Roll by Klemp. Robbins, deep tip, taken by Barefoot, out of system again for LMU. Booth can't fire, that ball's up. Pancake by Helm. Back set. Klemp cuts it cross and gets the kill.
And I totally thought, I read they were going to go to Awolea. Sorry, Awolea.
They fed her the last couple of times, and we've seen how effective they can be off the net. Geisberger was the freshman of the year and all WCC first team selection last season. Larson wanted to touch off the block, and she gets it. I see you snapping those fingers.
I'm snapping. I'm like, I saw that change of direction. I try not to be too biased, but you know, I bleed a little pilot in me. Want him to be successful.
Rajkovic will go back to serve. Back row attack, and straight down. Larson saw it the whole way.
Yep, she was not fooled by that tandem play.
And with Geisberger's height, I mean, she really didn't even have to reach that far in front of the 10-foot line as a back row attacker. 3-point lead for Portland in set 3. Outside, Booth split the block and found the seam between Rajkovic and Harris. Jackie Moore now in. Awolea is now serving. That's a lot of area to cover right there.
Yes.
Quick to Bradley, put back over by Moore. Backs at the Larson, into the block, covered by Helm, out of system for Portland. They'll go back to Larson, tips over the block. Dig by Harris, and Booth will end up getting the kill as she tips it back over.
seen some good hitter coverage, though, for Portland.
Yeah.
You know, when you have to play a team that's got such a
big
great block,
yeah.
you know, that's all you can do is have good hitter coverage.
Quick set to the middle. That looks like something out of LMU's offense.
Right?
Booth muscles one through the block of Bradley and Larson for the kill, and that notches us up at 5. Into the net. So the Pilots will get one back and the lead.
For Larson at server.
See, 9th service error. Correction, 8th service error on LMU today. And Mumoa will get an ace. Pilots with 7 aces. Strong performance from the service line by Portland today.
Yeah, I usually say that's one of my keys, but I took it off the list today, and like, they must have known and said, well, we're going to keep it as a focus. And it's been very effective.
Averaging 1.79 aces per set. I'd say they're well above that average right now. Deep float from Mumoa. Booth swings into the block, and that's a tool for the kill. Klemp will go to the bench. Ella Boley is now on the floor. She goes back to serve. Oh, what a dig right there by Boley, and the kill by Moore. I didn't think Boley had any business saving that ball, but she got a fist on it. Bareford was aware enough to get a high enough set for Moore, and she crushed it. Mumoa on the pass. Bradley gets the kill.
Honestly, Brian, I think it's going to be a battle of ball control.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Which team is going to take care of serve receive, and whose defense is going to get those long rallies and get that one arm underneath the ball like we just saw?
Bradley now has 4 kills for Portland. Oh, the tandem gets him. Booth gets her 12th kill of the day.
She's playing for her home court advantage here, her home team. She's got a lot of fans in the in the stands.
Hometown kid from Portland, Oregon, went to Jesuit High School. And her 3rd service error, I believe.
I might have jinxed her there. I apologize.
That's her 4th service error. But she's hitting .526 right now. 12 kills and 19 attacks, and she got aced. Bradley gets her 2nd ace. Geisberger hit that off the pin, out of bounds.
Again, nice, strong serving by Portland. Bradley looked like she almost took out Moore's head when she was serving that ball.
3-point lead for Portland. And another ace.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
We go back to the same spot.
Just keep touching that tape. 4-point lead. It's a timeout called by LMU after back-to-back aces. It's 12-8, set 3. Portland's on a 4-0 run thanks to that ace right there by Charity Bradley. We'll be right back on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Out of the timeout called by LMU. Charity Bradley back behind the service line. 2 aces already. That's an overpass. Helm dumps. Geisberger the tip over the block. And Portland couldn't keep it up.
Yeah, Helm reached back because she saw that Mumolo had already dove in for the ball. Took a dive for the ball and wasn't there, but unsuccessful.
Hastings serving. Robbins on the receiving end of it. Pushed out to Harris. Hastings with the dig. Free ball sent over. Helm goes line. Hastings another dig. Geisberger! Middle of the court. Can't do anything with it.
Yeah, she saw a hole in that block and just went straight through it.
You could hear Harris wanted to shoot on that last offensive possession for Portland. Back set to Helm. Block was late. Still alive. Silbert digs. Another back set to Helm. Block was late again, and they get the kill this time. Helm gets her second kill of the match.
I was gonna say, if Booth got us another chicken wing dig, I mean, the first one was like, oh, she got that up. Helm's like, not again.
You'll get a good look at it. The snap on her arm. Such velocity on it. The dump denied. And you know what? She was denied by the net.
Mm-hmm.
Four-point lead for Portland. About halfway through set number 3. Deep float serve. Booth sends it out of bounds near the bench. High pass. And Larson put it right down to the face of Hastings. She can't keep it up.
Great smart choice from Larson right there.
Helm will serve again. 2 aces so far for her. Outside, Geisberger. Zilbert in the perfect spot. Oh, Harris!
That's what she was wanting before. That's what she was calling for.
9 kills now in today's match. And LMU calling their second timeout here in set number 3. Pilots riding high. They're up 16-10 over the Lions on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. 4-0 run currently for Portland as they're up by 6, 16-10. Brian Slyke and Carly Dumanin with your calls. We're in set 3. Each team has taken a set from the other. And that point will go to Coach Mansfield on the timeout. Boley will go to the bench. Klemp now back on the floor in the front row as Bareford goes back to serve. Larson into the block and out of bounds. That's a kill for Larson.
Out of bounds, point Pilots.
Grace was right there, just in case.
Yeah, she followed that one. Float serve, Booth on the pass. Low set, Klemp has to tip it over. Tip over the block, Helm had first touch, out of system for Portland. High pass, cross court to Robbins, roll shot into the back row. Geisberger tips, perfectly placed right over the block of Robbins and Rajkovic.
Troll for Geisberger and server for LMU.
Yeah, she hid that tip to the last minute too.
Geisberger now has 8 kills as she gets subbed out for Mary Schroll, who now serves for the Lions. Rajkovic will get the kill. Her 4th kill.
Pilots, Bradley into the front row of the Bowman.
Deep serve, Hastings takes it. Blocked. And there should have been another touch right there. I think they prematurely called that one.
Well, the first one's a block, and then the girl, yeah.
That's, yeah, it should have been a block and then a back-to-back tips, it looked like. I think they blew that one premature.
Replay, maybe?
Did she just do the 2 thumbs up? I couldn't tell.
I think so. We're like directly behind the ref, so it's like
Replay the point.
And okay, there we go. So we will get a replay on the point, a premature whistle right there to call 2 hits on Portland. So it's 18-12. Rajkovic will serve. Out to Booth. She went line, got the leg of Helm. Block was just that much late.
Yep.
Awolea now serving more back into the front row. Booth has a game-high 13 kills now. It's a strange serve. It almost like she cut off her momentum of her arm when she's serving.
Yeah, she has a really low toss for her height, and I feel like she's been having to just like do a quick little wrist snap to get that ball over. It's like a knuckleball serve, pitch for pitcher.
Mumoa goes after Schroll. Hastings on the second touch. And out of bounds. Too much of a cut by Booth right there. And a 7-point lead right now for Portland in set 3. They lead 20-13. Talk about a boost if you can win this set. Set yourself up for success for the rest of this match. Feed to the middle, Mumoa runs through it. Helm goes deep.
She's wanting to touch, but I don't think any of the officials see it.
I didn't see a touch on that one either. As Bowie will come in to serve for Klemp. This is where if you're Portland, just play your game. You don't need to do anything special with your 6-point lead right now.
It's just side out for points.
You're going for 5, they're going for 11. Tight at the net. And that'll be Portland's point.
Yeah.
Helm never made a touch on that. She just went up for a block.
And being front row, she can do it.
Yeah, exactly. 7-point lead again for Portland, 21-14. LMU is out of timeouts in this set. Moore. Just amazed with her athleticism. Again, floating there. She got the kill on the back line. Geisberger comes back in. And Burns will go back to serve. as Booth and Schroll head to the bench. Good pass from Zilbert. Back to Bradley. Sent it long.
Helm was looking for a touch, but I don't think anybody else agreed with her.
The only person I saw throw up a hand was Catalan on the bench.
Yeah.
11 errors on each side. Another good pass from Zilbert to Bradley. That one's in the court.
She's like, I don't like that corner. I'll go to the next corner.
Yeah, right?
Definitely more real estate going across that cross corner.
Booth now back into the game. Charity Bradley, 3 points away from helping Portland take set 3. Outside, Geisberger goes over the block. Mumolo digs it down line. Harris somehow with the left hand got it over the net. Ball still going. Rajkovic into the block. It's covered. Roll into the corner. Boley got to it. Set to the middle. It's more. Past Mumolo in the back right corner. That was an impressive dig by Mumolo down line.
Right.
Couldn't get to the second one. Catalan checks in for Mumolo.
Rajkovic was trying to get an assist there.
Yeah, well.
Setting the ball.
She got the cover too on her own swing. Harris, Rajkovic, and Helm will swing in this rotation. Back set to Helm. Dig by Boley. The tandem attack, tip over the block, alive. Hard roll, Boley slides underneath it. Slide. Oof. And miscommunication in the back row between the freshman Catalan and Robbins. And I think Coach Burton will call a timeout. Smart move. You're up by 4 right now. Some momentum is shifting towards LMU. 22-18. Portland trying to take set 3. Just a couple minutes away from the conclusion of set 3 on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Childs Center. Let's look at Jade Harris. 9 kills, leads the Portland Pilots on their side of the net. Pilots trying to take a 2-1 set lead, and Rajkovic, no snap on that one, sends it past the end line. So once this lead was at 7 points, now it's down to 3. Catalan will check out. Mumolo's in the back row for passing for Portland. So it's Rajkovic and Harris swinging. Overpass, Geisberger will get the kill. Helm went up for the block and got a touch on it.
Okay.
Hastings serving.
Nice cut by Harris there.
Geisberger goes cross. And LMU gets another kill. Geisberger now has 10 kills, and she's the second Lion with double-digit kills. Booth's season high is 15 kills. She's at 13 currently. And aced. The lead for Portland has dwindled away. And a timeout call by Coach Burton. 22 all inside the Child Center. Portland just had a 7-point lead not more than a few minutes ago. And so we head to a break. 22 all inside the Child Center. We'll be back on the WCC Network. LMU is on a 6-0 run before that timeout called by Coach Burton and Carly. What do you think Portland needs to do right now to not let this one slip away?
They just got to go back to the basics and take care of the ball in serve receive, and so they're back row passing.
Starts with a good pass right there by Zilbert. And the kill!
I mean, Zilbert's just has been probably one of the most consistent in passing. I'm surprised they went
right
serve the libero right there.
Catalan, who just got the assist to Helm, will now check out. Larson in. Helm will go back to serve. 1-point lead for the Pilots. High pass from Zilbert for Harris. Geisberger into the court. It's dug by Helm. Covered by Harris. Robbins calls everybody off. Roll into the middle of the court. Hastings runs through it. Deep tip by Geisberger, and that's a kill. And when I talked to Coach Mansfield, that's what he means by the out-of-system offense, and because that pass took Bareford towards the 10-foot line, but she's still set.
With tempo.
Yeah, with tempo to Geisberger on the outside. Almost like a 3-ball, and that's kind of where that ended up. Bareford back to serve. Larson in the middle, blocked, still going, Joust. Clemp gets the kill. That looked like it went off the outside arm of Larson.
Yeah, maybe into the antenna.
And so now it's set point 24-23 for LMU. And did we have a challenge? I think we had a challenge by Coach Burton.
Okay. We got to go back to our average, right? Yeah. Since we didn't get any challenges last game. I'm just curious what she's questioning. I mean, I did see the net shake a little bit. I saw the antenna shake a little bit, so.
Hey, Robin, is this a net violation? Thank you. Yeah, so they're looking at a net violation right now. Not necessarily the ball going off the pin and out of bounds. So if it comes back and Portland gets the point, then you're just flip-flop and set point. So we're gonna have to take a look at the net right here. Now they're calling a net violation, and if Coach Burton is challenging that.
That means that they're saying that Portland was in the net, because I didn't look like it from our angle.
I didn't really see that either.
But if they blew the ball dead because of the net violation, then would it be a replay?
Yeah, like it's sort of confusing on what they're looking for right now. Because on that one, it didn't look like LMU was in the net. I didn't really see Portland into the net either. It was pretty close. It's Jason Olson, the down referee.
Doing his due diligence.
Looks like he's come up with a conclusion. And that point will stay with LMU. So set point for LMU. This would be quite the comeback. We're on a 7-1 run. Set point serve from Bareford. Robbins has the second touch. Tip over the block and down. There was some confusion on LMU's side. It wasn't sure if Bareford was going to get it or if Hastings was. Normally you'd think the libero would just automatically take that first ball. I mean, yeah, she stopped her feet right there.
Just a little hesitation makes a difference.
Geisberger. The set to Clem. She'll pick up an assist. And that point will go to LMU. 25-24, back to set point.
She's like, I am 6'5" and I have hands.
I can do it all. I was almost going to say the middle blocker with the hands, but she's an outside hitter. Back set to Larson. Block is late, goes line, Hastings digs. And that'll do it. Awolea will get the kill for LMU, completing the comeback here. They were trailing by 7 points late in set 3, and they take it 26-24. We'll be right back for set number 4 on the WCC Network. LMU leads 2-1. know, Ilani Helm has been a big part of this Pilots program, especially this season. Right now, she's got 3 kills to go along with 23 assists, 2 aces, and 7 digs on the afternoon. And one of the 3 seniors that really supplies the offense, and she kind of really does it all for this team.
Absolutely. And you can see the passion when she plays, too.
Mary Schroll to serve for LMU begins set number 4. LMU leads this 2-1.
Schroll will go back to serve with LMU leading 2-1 over Portland. Good pass from Harris. They feed Reykjavik, and she didn't get a full swing on it. They called the net violation.
On Moore, I think.
Yeah, on LMU.
Yeah.
They still gave the kill to Reykjavik. Love to see it.
Nice.
Good pass by Bully. Geisberger with the cut just past the 10-foot line and in.
Zilbert's like, okay, I'll give you that spot.
I mean, there's nothing you can really do right there. Not unless you had the world's tallest libero. Has that range.
Longest arms ever.
Hastings serving. Larson goes line. Hastings put up some hands. And what a great spot on that tip right there. There was absolutely nobody in back left.
I mean, great hit choice by Larson there. It's just phenomenal dig by Hastings there.
Yeah, Bareford with the dump and the kill. So Hastings back to serve again. Dee Bradley. Awolea with the kill. She now has 8 kills. She set her career high of 16. Oh, correction, 17. Not too long ago against San Francisco on the road. Quick set to Bradley and right back down. Awolea on another solo block.
And that's why she leads her team in blocks, right there.
She now has 7 total blocks in the game. Her career high is 9. Her season high is 8, which she had against Ole Miss earlier this season. After that service error ends up in the net, it's 4-2 in favor of the Lions. Cross court to Bully. Geisberger quickly down the line. That's a dig by Mumolo. Hastings pass ends up underneath the net. Bareford couldn't save it. And that point has to go to Mumolo.
Oh, absolutely.
She dug a rocket down line from Geisberger.
I was talking about how it's challenging going in as a DS. You know, you're only in, you're coming off the bench cold, but she's not showing it.
No, not at all. She gets her 4th dig of the afternoon. That's an overpass, let it go. And Helm does. Ends up out of bounds, so 4-all. Just like the rest of this match, it's tight.
It's tight, back and forth, back and forth.
See Mumolo's stats on the day. 1 ace and 4 digs so far. Timeout on the court to dry it off. A 3-0 run right now for Portland. Deep serve, and that one's out by about a foot.
I feel like her serve does this like low, then it goes high, and then it dips down again, but it just tips, just the wrong timing. It dipped high too late.
Yeah, yeah. Harris gets blocked. Zilbert on the cover. Helm tries to dump. Awulea denies her.
Rejected.
Second solo block.
Reminds me of the Seinfeld episode. No soup for you.
Set for Bradley. Into the block. No cover. Awulea again.
With the block point.
Right, but that's what I was talking about, Brian, where right now LMU is blocking like gangbusters, right? And it's getting into the head of the offense of Portland. They're getting to relax, switch up their shots a little bit.
Awulea has been a part of 8 total blocks so far, and there's an ace for Bearford. And we were just tied at 4-all not too long ago. It's now 8-4, but as I was saying, though, Awulea has tied her season high of 8 blocks. Actually, back-to-back blocks, that makes it 9, so she's now set a new season high. Tight pass, Catalan takes it off for Bradley, and the tip just able to go over the net. I didn't think she was going to have enough on it, but she got it there. Robbins, the freshman from Hawaii, back to serve. And that's an ace. Had to get the hands on it.
Yep, had a good touch. Feel part of the game when the ball comes by our stand.
10 aces on the day for Portland. That's an overpass, and down by Bradley. Bradley gets her 7th kill. She had 15 kills against San Francisco on that road trip last weekend. That set a new season high for her.
Nice.
That tied her career high that she set when she was back with Washington State. Free ball sent over. Back to Bradley again and down. It's about time Portland gets one of those that goes straight down.
Yeah.
And just a couple of back-to-back 4-point runs for each side. We're back notched up at 8-all.
Momentum, it's vicious.
Great serve right there by Robbins. High for Klepp and blocked. Bradley and Helm.
Nice.
We got a roof call going on.
I love when they cheer her on.
We used to say roof, roof, roofia. that was our little chant for a block. That's an overpass. Harris. And that'll be a net violation on LMU. Take a look at that block by Charity Bradley again.
Oh, yeah. That was all Charity.
Yes, it was.
We said the roof is on fire. When we, that probably dates me a lot. Was in high school?
It's a 10-8 lead for Portland. Timeout called by LMU here in set 4. We'll be right back on the WCC Network. Out of the timeout, Maui Robbins serving for Portland. Ooh. And that one caught the end line.
I would have let that go too. I mean, it looked like it was going out. Oh, great serve.
Chef's kiss.
Yes.
Right there. Right on that end line. You'll get a good look at it right here.
It's so high, it just drops.
Drops the last second. Schroll, tight pass at the net.
Oh.
And that opened it up for Awolea.
Timing looked just a little off to where she didn't have to do anything but just tap it over the net.
Yeah. That ends a 6-0 run for Portland.
It's a game of runs this set.
Geisberger serves. Outside to Harris. And she gets the kill. She's got double digits with 10. So 15 out of 21 matches this season with double-digit kills. And another one on the overpass. Harris took advantage of that, and she probably could have let that one go. It would have gone out of bounds. But hey, let's pat those stats a little bit.
Exactly. She's like, thanks, Charity, for that
Yeah.
extra stat. Good, solid serve.
That's another overpass, and Helm wants in and put back over. One hit each. Outside to Harris. Tipped. Hastings flies through the air to save that one. Back set to Helm. Got a touch off the block.
Yep.
And we had only one line judge see the touch, but it counts for Portland, and so they take a 5-point lead, 14-9, here in set number 4. This might be some of the best volleyball we've seen them play in conference so far for Portland.
Absolutely.
Outside, Booth goes line. They called that one in. It was pretty close into that back right corner. But Booth gets her 14th kill. She is 1 kill away from her season high. Awolea will go to the bench. Burns comes out to serve Moore, now the middle blocker. Helm passes this ball over. Moore blocked by Harris. Booth can't pick up her 15th kill as Robbins keeps it alive. Still going and into the net. Barefoot tried. Heck of an effort. But the Pilots take the point, 15-10. Catalan will check out. Larson now comes in. The libero comes back in. Hastings along with Booth. Awolea and Burns head to the bench. Feed the middle again. I mean, if that ball's within 5 to 10 feet of that net, you can almost guarantee that the middle might get a look.
Yep.
That's just how this offense is run as Bowie comes in to serve.
It's their bread and butter.
It's like I've never seen an offense intentionally feed the middle so often. Like normally, yeah, you want to feed the middle. That one's out of bounds. Good eye right there by Jade Harris.
All teams strive to force the middle, right?
Yeah.
But they do it when the ball's out of system.
Yeah, you know, 10 feet off the net, you pass the 10-foot line. Or heck, even if you're on one side of the court or the other, they still try to feed that middle. Booth, tight tip at the net, and she now ties her season high with 15 kills.
She just has some very good placement on her tips.
Schroll comes in, she'll serve. Booth had those 15 kills against Kansas earlier this season. High set for Larson. And they're saying it went off the pin, and that'll be LMU's point.
Like it went to the pin first or off the block? If it's off the block, that's point Portland.
Yeah. And so now the referee is going to go over. Both line judges will come over. They both waved their flag. And now all the judges will come over.
It's a huddle.
I've got one saying it's off the block, and there it is.
Yeah.
So Hector Escobar, the line judge that's on Portland's side of the court right now, he's the one who said it went off the block.
Yeah.
Coach Mansfield is getting an explanation. He doesn't seem to be fighting it too much, though.
Right? I mean, if it were to go off the antenna first, I feel like the ball would ricochet in a different angle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a quick serve.
That was a quick serve. On the slide, it's Helm on the dig. But Portland can't keep it going, so the slide works for more. Hastings serving. Bradley Larson, and it looks like Robbins will swing in this rotation for Portland. Overpass and put right down by Awuea. I do see what Coach Burton's talking about, though, because that ball did not break the plane of the net. And that was on Portland's side. You have to give Helm the opportunity to set the ball.
But they're not arguing, not challenging it.
I mean, I had that right down the net on my side. That ball never broke the plane.
Yeah.
Geisberger puts a roll ball over. Outside to Robbins. Dig by Boley. Give it back to Geisberger, and a dig by Zilbert. Tight at the net. Robbins puts a tip over. And that one never made it over. So 4 touches by LMU. Mumola will check in for Larson.
You know, I'm curious if the setter would have gone for that ball that was so tight, if there would have been a different call, you know.
Well, Helm was making her way up to the net at that point, and she was going to jump, but I already saw that there was a push over the net by LMU. So you never really had the chance.
Right. I guess the ball never lies, right?
Yeah, ball never lies. That's why they got that last point back. Boley takes the serve. Awuea. I mean, she's now got double-digit kills along with Jackie Moore. Awuea has 11 kills, Moore has 10, Geisberger 13, and Booth with 15. Moore's career high is 16, which she set against Portland in their first conference game this season. Long swing from Robbins out of bounds. And Awuea career high is 17 kills. Bareford serving. Back set to Bradley, tip over the block. Hastings runs right through it. Geisberger puts one down. Zilbert can't save it. So LMU right back into this game. They trail by 1, 18-17. Coach Burton's seen enough right now. She calls a timeout to stop momentum. We'll be right back inside the Child Center on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Brian Sleck and Carly Dumanin with the call as Marlena Catalan checks into the game for Portland. Helm, Bradley, and Harris swing in this rotation. Helm swings, covered by Zilbert. High. Correction, it's Robbins swinging. Deep tip into the corner, like that idea, and the cover by Schroll. Geisberger, and an arm put up by Zilbert saves it. Ooh. Free ball. Can Portland take advantage? To Bradley, tipped. And she couldn't double touch it.
Oh man, she's like, oh, that wasn't a block, because a block isn't considered a touch.
Correct.
She thought, oh, that's a block. I can't touch that ball.
Nope.
Just one of those brain farts that happen every once in a while.
Robbins serving with a 2-point lead, 19-17. Tight contest inside the Child Center this afternoon. Overpass. Bradley gets the kill.
Yes.
10 kills now for Charity Bradley.
Timeout,
LMU calling a timeout. They trail by 3, 20-17. They're no strangers to this situation. They came back and won set number 3, 26-24. We'll be right back inside the Child Center on the WCC Network. Welcome back onto the campus of the University of Portland. Brian Slyke, Carly Dumanin with the call. 2-1, LMU lead, but right now Portland has a 3-point lead late in set 4, 20-17. Outside to Klemp. Back set to Helm. Tip over the block. Geisberger, first touch. Feed the middle. Abulea will get the kill.
Darn it.
Just past the sideline.
Right.
So Geisberger, who went on a run at the service line in set 3 to get LMU back into it, now at the service line with her team trailing by 2. Gilbert takes the serve, back set to Helm. Geisberger, high pass, middle of the court. Booth sends a free ball over. Outside, Harris, down line.
Yeah.
And a net violation. Doesn't matter, we'll give that kill to Harris.
Okay. When you say net violation, I hold my breath like, no, Harris wasn't in the net.
No, she wasn't in the net. The ref called the LMU in the net on that one.
Because when you have such a good play there, he's like, oh.
Harris with 13 kills. High, that's tight at the net for Booth. She goes hard cross and out of bounds. You know, Booth has been doing a lot of cross. She might find some effectiveness if she tries to go tipping it over the block. And go behind the block, but not a lot of line from her. Goes cross again, into the block, covered. And a point for LMU.
with the redirect point, LMU.
Moore will come back in. Awulea checks out for Burns, who will come in and serve.
At server for the Lions.
Like Harris was getting an explanation. Not sure what she was asking about, though. Short serve, overpass. Moore has the first touch. Booth goes cross court and the kill. Silbert popped right up. She took full credit for that one. Said it was my bad, guys. 2-point lead for Portland. Back set to Helm. Geisberger digs it in the back row. Tight, and a block by Helm. Solo style.
Solo. Point Pilots. Larson for Catalan in the front row.
Catalan checks out for Larson.
Hastings in at the libero.
Hastings in at libero. So Helm and the Pilots need to push for 2 more points to force a set 5. Ace! Confusion in the back row.
Set point, serving 20.
2018 was the last time these two teams went to 5 sets. Portland 1 point away from forcing set 5. Set point. Geisberger takes the serve. Booth swings into the block. Helm can't get her hand underneath it. So LMU lives to fight for another point.
You know, it doesn't seem that LMU shows any tension or fear, you know, when they're coming from behind.
They're pretty calm, cool, and collected now.
Exactly.
They do have the set lead, so if you drop this one, you know you don't lose the full match. Silbert on the pass. Helm sets to Larson out of the middle, and that's it. That does it for set 4, 25-21. It goes to Portland.
21.
And great spot right there for Larson to go on the tip because the middle thought she could put it back over, brought it back onto her side. That forces a set 5. You don't want to go anywhere just yet. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Set number 5 between LMU and Portland. It's Brian Slack and Carly Dumanin with your call. Charity Bradley coming up big for Portland right now. We always talk about Jade Harris in the kill category, but Charity Bradley, 10 kills today, 2 blocks, and a couple of aces as well. In fact, she's got 3 of them to go along with 2 more blocks. She's just really done it all today for Portland.
Absolutely. When she goes in to serve, that's just a great rotation for Portland today.
Portland is creeping up on a season high in aces. They've got 12 today. They had 13 against Portland State in their first home match of the season.
Substitution for LMU, Booth for Schwab.
Well, in the last game, it would seem like it was a game of runs, right?
Yep.
Well, with it being a short
Third set.
or we don't go to 15. We go to 15.
You go to 15 and you switch at 8.
Right? So it's like,
Oh yeah, I forgot. You weren't here when we did the 5 sets a few weeks ago.
it's been a while for me.
Harris starts off set 5. Outside, Geisberger, soft touch off the block and a kill.
The top of the box, LMU.
You know, it's kind of like which team can get out of the races fast, you know?
Away into the front row for the Lions.
Geisberger now has 15 kills. Down line, just out of bounds.
Smart idea.
Booth has set a new season high with 17 kills. Her career high is 23, which she set against Portland back in 2020. Reykjavik went cross. I like the idea to feed her, though, get her involved out of the middle. We've seen a lot of it going to Charity Bradley. So LMU out to a 3-0 lead. Portland needs to stop this momentum right now. High for Robbins. She has to chase it to the net. Free ball sent over. Tipped by Geisberger. Reykjavik sends it over. Another tight one at the net for Geisberger. Helms there, saves it. Larson goes cross and gets the kill.
Good off the block and down, point Pilots. Bradley
Larson seems to have gotten some very timely kills at just the right time to help the Pilots.
She's got 7 kills. Season high and career high is 13. And Zilbert puts it into the net. Service error will make it 4-1 in favor of LMU.
For Boley in the front row.
Klemp comes in for Boley. Deep float taken by Harris. Great pass outside to Robbins. And Klemp couldn't do anything with it. Had the initial block.
Now we just had enough spin or oomph to get that ball on their side of the net.
Catalan checks in to serve. Awolea, Klemp, and Geisberger swing in this rotation for LMU. Geisberger, back set. Klemp will get the kill off the block. Bradley looked frustrated after that.
Was she also the same hitter that had that reflection?
I think so, yeah, the one that went all the way past the end line.
Right?
Geisberger serves. Looks like she's going after Robbins with how she's set up, and she does. Oh, Leia.
That's tough.
That's filthy.
I mean, if you're going to give LMU a free ball, they're going to make
it
you
difficult.
Exactly. They're going to make you pay for it.
All right, so it's 6-2 right now. Timeout called by Portland. So 4-point lead for LMU with this timeout. What are you saying in the huddle right now for Portland trying to slow the momentum of LMU?
Again, I feel like if they can take care of the ball in serve receive, it just makes it really, really tough. You can't be giving LMU free balls at this time in the match.
Even though this is a young team, they're too good to give them consistent free balls.
They're athletic, they're young. I mean,
especially with the offense, because of how much they feed the middle, they can go 3 options, what seems like at any moment.
Yeah.
So out of the timeout, Mumoa will check in. She'll go into the back row for Catalan. So we waited for the final few seconds of the timeout to roll off.
And there's as much time as possible. Get Geisberger to think about that serve a little bit longer.
Geisberger moves to the other side of the court now to serve. Now, she was keying in on Robbins the last time. Now it's Harris. High set for Bradley. And that one is long. 7-2. If LMU gets one more point, the teams will switch sides. Fifth set has been the Achilles heel for Portland this season. In conference play, they've been unable to win set 5 3 different times.
Oh, great
Overpass.
dig.
Helm, I like the idea. And that'll count for a point for Portland and Helm.
You just saw Hastings just fly through the air and get that dig. That was phenomenal defense for her.
Yeah, but why I like that for Helm, she didn't just push straight back and put it where all the LMU players were. She swiped it to one side. Wow, what spin on that ball from
Seriously,
Booth.
she was facing her coaches and rotated her body.
Yeah, she had enough rotation and spin on that. Put it in the middle of the court. So a 5-point lead as the teams switch sides. There'll be a brief break as it's 8-3.
This is a tough situation for Portland because they're having to play a little tight, and there's no tightness over at the LMU side. They're cool, calm, and collected.
So Portland has won one game non-conference in set 5. They did beat Pacific in set 5 at the beginning of conference play.
Yeah, I feel like I remembered one of those like up and down emotional games where it's like
2-3 overall though in 5-set matches this season. And they put themselves in a tough spot, trailing by 5 at the break. Good pass from Mumoa. Bradley goes line. And a touch off the block, it lands in, and a point for LMU. Burns will go back to serve again. Tight pass. Helm kept it alive. Harris puts it down for a kill. Big credit right there to Helm to take that ball off the net.
And that's the tempo that Harris wants.
Yeah, she likes that quick set to her.
Oh yeah. Solo block.
Yep.
Way too many options for Harris.
Tight at the net. Joust won by Portland, but the ball's still alive. Free ball sent over. Outside Harris, roll, clamp, and that's a double hit by Moore. So, hey, well, you're getting some life out of the service line from Charity Bradley again, much like you had on Thursday. Let's see if she can keep that momentum up. Tipped by Booth over the block. Harris goes cross court. Hastings digs.
Oh.
And Robbins tried to go in and get a hand on it. Just gave more of a fist than a pancake there.
Right. That's tough because you have, with the kind of hitters that LMU has, you've got to stay back and defend your area, but then they just, the last minute, give away that tip.
Boley back to serve. Portland trailing by 5. And Harris gets the kill. Again, it's that quick set to the outside. You just mentioned it. She really likes it in that tempo.
Right, and if you can keep, as long as you keep it in front of her, she can do a lot with it.
Harris up to 15 kills. That's tight at the net. Dig by Zilbert. Harris never got it over the net.
Oof. A nice defensive rally by both teams there. That was awesome.
Schroll will now check in.
You might have a different opinion. I feel like men, when they watch men's volleyball, it's like pass that kill. With women's volleyball, there's so many more long rallies. I'm like, oh, it's so exciting when the long rallies. And most people I know, they'll say, get it over with. Get the kill already.
Well, sometimes you get the most impressive digs and ups during those rallies. High pass for Harris. Rolls it through the block. Set, middle, more. Dig by Helm. Back set, Geisberger, soft block, keeps it alive. Pass from Zilbert. Larson. And that one went out of bounds, went off pin.
Oh, got it. It's hard for me to see, and I was like, what? That looked like a kill.
Yeah, no, it went off the pin, unfortunately, and Coach Burton will call a timeout. It's 12-6 in favor of LMU. We'll be right back after this break on the WCC Network. Welcome back inside the Child Center. Larson is being subbed out for Lucia Busso, her first appearance in today's match, as Portland is trailing by 6. High pass for Harris, and straight down, roofed by Moore and Geisberger.
Oof. That is a block. Moore's like, I can block just like all the way.
Yeah, that's now double-digit blocks for LMU today. Roll, Hastings tries to keep it alive. Schroll follows it up. Whew. Roll by Geisberger. Tight pass, Harris has to make a play on it, got it over the net. Hastings gets a dig. There's a lot of movement on that net right now, but nothing called. Geisberger will get the kill. And there we go. Yeah, Coach Burton calls in for the challenge.
I was just concerned about Helm and Reykjavik almost colliding into the court there.
I don't know if you noticed it, but Geisberger on that swing, I mean, she almost had her elbow all the way across the net when she had the swing.
I didn't see that.
She got up there, but right now we're looking for a net violation on LMU. And here's a look at the challenges. Because we are in a 5th set, each coach gets an additional challenge. Now, both coaches, I believe, lost their challenge. So they were each down to 1.
It seems like a no-brainer if you're in your 5th match to take one of the challenges.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do? You're trying to take back a point for yourself.
It's late in the game.
Yeah, here's a replay.
I'm seeing that elbow above the net that you were talking about, though, Brian.
Yeah.
Yes, she is up there.
And that point will go to Portland. So there was a net violation on LMU.
That's definitely a good swing for Portland there.
Point, Pilots.
Coach Mansfield just takes it in stride.
Yeah. Is it, can I challenge that challenge?
Yeah. We did have something similar to that a few weeks ago, a challenge right after a challenge. Geisberger will get the kill that she just lost.
Booth was going back to serve.
She hasn't served all match. Yeah, she's been subbed out for Burns to serve. Match point, 14-7. Rajkovic with a tip. Bareford first touch out of system LMU. Tight pass. Geisberger the tip. Just made it over the net. And that'll end it. Another tough 5-set loss for Portland as they drop it 15-7 in set 5 and drop it 3 sets to 2. And Carly, any final thoughts on today's match?
I mean, both teams did such a great job battling back and forth. It was just a close match, and just a couple of little things added up in the stats column for LMU that didn't for Portland. So, I mean, enjoyable match. Both teams did great. I don't know. So close.
Yeah, for a team that swept Portland early on in the conference play or during this season, I think this is a great showing for Portland and the fight that they had to at least push this one to 5 sets compared to getting swept the last time. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule for the Pilots. They have a road trip next week at San Diego, at BYU. Those will be tough matches. Both teams are in the top 25 nationally. And then you come back home for a couple of matches against Gonzaga and San Francisco at the start of November. So you'll see the Pilots back inside the Child Center soon. That was Carly Dumont, and I'm Brian Slight. Thank you for tuning in for this West Coast Conference volleyball action today on the WCC Network. We'll catch you next time.